Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Maryam, and today I am going to be going over my latest recommendations for the Sephora VIB sale, aka the event that happens twice a year at Sephora, the spring savings event, in which you can save some money on some of your favorite makeup products or beauty products or skincare products that are available at Sephora. So depending on your level of membership, whether you are a Rouge member, a VIB member, or an insider, you get to save 20, 15, or 10% off of these items. So I've gathered up some of my best recommendations for you guys, my recent hits, but please be sure to watch some of my previous videos for some of my all-time favorites. I come prepared with notes as always, so let's hit it. Sephora Spring Savings 2025 event, aka Sephora VIB sale. Let's hit it. So as always, I'm going to be going over all of the categories, starting from primer all the way down to lip products, everything in between, color cosmetics, complexion products. I hope you are ready. I hope you guys have some snacks. So let's go. All right, so first and foremost, I am already wearing some of these products on my face, and I'll tell you which ones they are. But let's first start talking about primer. In the primer category, I cannot not recommend this primer because it is a product that I don't ever skip. I use it pretty much on the daily, and I am gonna recommend it once again. I'm talking about the DANESSA MYRICKS Blurring Balm Powder. This is a $36 product. And it is my secret weapon. So see, I got my hands on a brand new one because I actually just filmed something with DANESSA MYRICKS for my channel and also for her channels. Stay tuned for that. But this is a product that I love because it is perfect for oily skin. It is oil controlling. It has that magic ingredient Upsolite, which is able to control your oils better than mica and talc and all those other ingredients. And you can get it at a discount at the Sephora VIB sale. Also, they recently launched a radiant version of the same primer. So the one that I just showed you is the universal. This one is the radiant. So same oil controlling, texture smoothing properties, but with a hint of glow. So the glow is not going to be in the texture. The glow is literally going to be in the finish, if that makes sense. So I highly recommend both of these. I love them, I use them, and now is the time to get them. All right, if you are someone who tends to get a little sweaty in the face, perhaps a little sweaty in the stash area like I do from time to time, I cannot not recommend the One Size Secure the Sweat Dry Till Dawn Primer. This one is unique and different. You definitely have to read the instructions before applying it in order to apply it properly, but this will control your sweat. This is water resistant. It is an amazing product, great for those of you who tend to sweat. So if you have a very long day, let's say it's very humid out and you're an oily skin type, this is going to be your best friend. So this is, I believe, $34. So again, with a 20%, you could save nearly $7 with that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Moving on to the complexion category, foundation, skin tint, those sorts of things. In this category, I have, let me just go ahead and say it. This next recommendation is a pricey one, but I've never recommended it before because I wasn't really that familiar with it. But now that I am well familiar with this Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, I am a big fan. This is expensive. This is $69. Yeah. $69, and it's 30 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce, so it's a pricey foundation, but it's a really, really beautiful one. I am currently wearing this one on my face. What's really great about this is that it works for all skin types, whether you're oily or dry or a normal skin type, this will work for you. It just beautifies the skin. It makes you look more put together. It makes you look more natural and more radiant, but not in a dewy, glowy kind of way, kind of in a classic way, not in a trendy way, but in a very timeless, very put together, demure sort of way. So I really like it. The shade that I use is shade 6. It's a shade that a lot of us medium skin tone girlies tend to go for, especially if you have a golden or olive undertone. Shade 6 is perfect. I love it. In the skin tint category, I have a new fave, and it is actually from Makeup Forever. This one is called the Super Boost Skin Tint. It's got a cool little applicator with a pump. I wear shade 6 in this one as well, and this is $36 product, so not super inexpensive, something in the middle, I guess. But you can save some coins coin. You can save some bucks. I like it for its longevity. Also, it contains hyaluronic and polyglutamic acids, which balance out the skin, whether you are oily or dry. It just kind of makes your skin a little bit more neutral. So I really like this product for that. It feels like skincare, but it can definitely be built up to give you some coverage. I'm a fan. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the DANESSA MYRICKS Blurring Balm Powder Tinted. Shade 4 is what I wear now in the winter time. Actually, it's spring, but it still feels like winter here in New York. It's still a little bit chilly, especially at night. So shade 4 is what I reach for now. In the summertime, I reach for shade 6. And when I wear this, I typically don't need the primer. It's one or the other for me. But again, $36, one of my faves. I love it and I recommend it. Moving on to the concealer category, which is one of my favorite categories, but I'm a little bit sad about this category. So as much as I love the Luminous Silk Foundation, I equally, if not more, enjoy the Luminous Silk Concealer. However, I feel like they recently reformulated it and it is just not as good as it used to be. And it makes me so sad. It makes me sad for me. It makes me sad for you because this was an amazing product and I did not actually stock up. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I just discovered it and now it's been taken away from me. I guess I'm gonna have to go for some of my other favorites. Of course, include the Tarte Shape Tape, which is not available at Sephora, but what is available at Sephora is the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer, also from DANESSA MYRICKS. This one is very, very flexible, very easy, very pigmented. You need just the tiniest amount of product. It has this pinpoint type of applicator, so you disperse just the smallest little dot of product, which is really all you need. Love this one. Tons of shades, tons of undertones. I wear shade 5 to counteract my dark circles. I wear shade 6 currently to spot conceal, so my go-tos. Also, I guess this would kind of fall into the concealer category, but it is actually a color corrector from CALIRAY. This one is incredible. It is so good. I kind of go between shades Golden Hour and shade Warm Sun Glow. And these have this beautiful peachy pink undertone to really help with that discoloration under the eye and just to brighten, to lift. This is an amazing, amazing product. Probably the best in this category. And I know lots of other brands have these types of color correctors for the under eye, but none of them are as good as this. This is super, super weightless, very thin, very fine, just like a light little layer, but covers just brilliantly. All others I feel like are just too makeup-y, too detectable, and I don't like that. To me, I would like my color corrector to also work as a concealer, but not be detectable on the skin. Moving on. Let me take a sip. I guess at this point we've made it to powder. Let me go ahead and give you just a couple of items that I may or may not have mentioned before. Number one, and this I've definitely mentioned before, it's a newer item from Huda Beauty. It is the Ube Birthday Cake Electric Lilac Under Eye Setting Powder. This one is gorgeous. It is lilac, as you can see, and to me, it's a unique product. It definitely works. It works especially with those of us with golden and olive undertones. It just helps to not only conceal and disguise the dark purple under eye, but it also artistically kind of shifts your focus from your eye to your blush, right? So I think this is different. I think this is unique. Definitely worth the money. This is $36. I feel like everything's been $36, no? Everything that I've been talking about? Correction, this is $34 or possibly $39. I can't actually tell by my handwriting, but I will pop up the price. Different but amazing is what I have in my notes, and I love it. I am a big fan of it. I use this on occasion, not all the time, because this is definitely not for like an everyday type of look. But if you feel like you want to be a little bit more standout, you know, or at least if I want to feel a little bit more standout, that's when I reach for this. Definitely a hit in my book. Also, this next product is something that I've known about for a long time, but I've never really mentioned it because of the price. The price is definitely up there. $60 for a powder, which is a lot. I am talking about the Givenchy Prisme Libre or Prisme Libre. Basically this quad of powders. What am I saying? In shade number 1, which is pastel. Basically, it includes a pale blue, pale green, lavender, and a pink, all in this compact. And what's different about this one, and the reason why I'm recommending it, well, first of all, you need a splurge, right? If you are shopping the Sephora VIB sale and you want to get that 20% off as a Rouge member, you probably want to use it on something a little bit more expensive, something a little bit more pricey, like a $60 powder. The reason why I think this one is worth mentioning is because it does something unique and different. Not only is the color combination something uniquely flattering, like I would not expect this to be flattering on me, but also it kind of does the best of everything. It mattifies, it sets, it perfects, and it also kind of like clarifies the face, if that makes any sense. Yeah, if I could recommend a splurge powder, it would be this one. Granted, it's probably not going to last you very long if you use this every day, but for a special occasion, if you plan on taking photos, I recommend this one. There is no flashback. It just makes your skin look baby soft, just really nice. And the final powder that I am going to recommend is a setting powder, actually, from LAWLESS. This one right here. I wear shade medium. This is what it looks like. Nice little compact. Comes with a mirror and a little tiny puff. Actually, it's a sponge. And I like this one because it is talc-free, but it doesn't act like it. That's what I wrote in my notes. Talc-free, but doesn't act like it. Most of the time, talc-free products tend to just not do what they're supposed to do. Yes, they're cleaner. Yes, they're technically better, but they don't actually set and they don't actually keep your makeup long lasting all day and all night. But this powder somehow does. Also, I would say it's a little bit more full coverage than regular setting powders, so I would probably even put this in the powder foundation category. Really, really nice. I like this one from LAWLESS. Highly recommend it. By the way, everything that I'm recommending is linked down below. I'm like not even halfway through, you guys. I have so many products that I have piled together for this video. And because I haven't done this one in a couple of seasons, I have actually excellent new favorite products, like recent hits. So I'm just excited. All right, I think I should probably move on to blush, given that it's kind of like a larger category. We have liquid, we have cream, we have powder blushes, and I have a little bit of everything to present to you guys today. All right, so let me go ahead and start from the top. One of my favorites this season has been the NATASHA DENONA High Blush. This one right here. I have 3 shades that I'm holding up. What I like about this one is that it's a duo. Also, it is a unique formulation. It looks like it's a cream, but it's a cushiony cream to powder sort of formula. One of the shades is matte. The other one is like a little bit more dewy, a little bit more luminous, but together they create just this beautiful ombre sort of flush. I really like it. I like the compacts. I like the color combos. This is $42, but it's a 2-for-1. And some of my favorite shades are the ones I'm holding here. Shade Sweet Cheeks, this beautiful peachy pink. Also Flirty Flush, which is like a corally pink, like a watermelon sugar high type of vibe. And last but not least, shade Flustered. This one's probably my most reached for. I really love this shade. It just makes me feel flustered in the best sense of the word. It's just so juicy, just so yummy, so flattering. I love it. So $42, kind of pricey, but it's a 2-for-1. Next, since I talked about the Huda Beauty Ube setting powder, I actually also have to mention the blush because the blush is so gorgeous. It's such a unique, different lilac shade. And the product that I'm holding is actually the Huda Beauty Blush Filter. So Ube is one of the newer shades. Also, we have this shade called Bubblegum. Both of these are so stunning. I'm wearing them both on my face right now. You probably can't tell because these shades are pretty close together, but I did like this very subtle kind of ombre right here in the cheek, and I'm really happy with the result. So this is one of my favorite products from Huda. Really love the packaging. It's relatively inexpensive at $23. So this would be one of the cheaper, one of the more affordable blushes from Sephora that I'm recommending. So you can definitely pick up a couple of shades if you so choose. Also, I am a big fan of the new SAIE blushes. Not only do I love the original liquid formula, which actually feels more like a cream, I will say. And my favorite shade is shade Cutie, which is like kind of in between the Ube and the Bubblegum from Huda Beauty. This is like married those two and they had a baby. It would be this shade called Cutie. So this one I really like. It is $28, I want to say, but maybe I'm wrong. I think the $28 is actually the Supersuede version, which is basically the powder version, but it is super, super, super pigmented. This actually looks like a baked blush, but it's not one of those baked blushes that you might recall from 2016. This is actually really creamy, really, really easy to use, very flattering, very pigmented. You get a lot of color payoff. My favorite shade is shade Stella. Is just this really punchy, pretty corally, summery type of shade, just like really hot and fiery. I like this one. I can't wait to wear this one in the summertime when I'm a little bit more tan. I also do like the Armani Luminous Silk Blush. Also big fan of these CALIRAY Blurry Blushes. I think there's about 5 or maybe 7 shades of these. Very, very nice. Very easy on the skin. Very easy to wear. Clean blush. So yeah, so you definitely have a lot of options. I think I've given you enough options and some of my favorite shades as well. I hope that is helpful. All right, so now moving on to contour slash bronzer. I have been absolutely loving these Too Faced Chocolate Soleil contour slash bronzing sticks. These are so, so easy to use. They smell like dessert. They make me actually want to bite into it. It's so delicious, but the reason why I like them is because they're so easy to use. They just glide on like so effortlessly. They blend out so effortlessly. The shades are right. The ones that I like to use are shade Chocolate Mousse, also shade Chocolate Souffle. Both of these I use interchangeably, sometimes together. So I'm a big fan. Of course, you already know, big fan of the LYS contour stick. This one is in shade Harmony. This one is the blinged out version. Clean, black owned brand at Sephora. $21 for this. This is probably the most inexpensive product on my list today, but very, very good. I reach for this all the time. It's gone viral on TikTok and everywhere. So definitely a hit because it works, because it's a great product. Bestseller for a reason is what I have in my notes. And a new fave, this is like hot off the press. It is fresh from PR. I am talking about the Hoola Wave from Benefit. So this is their latest cream bronzer. This, for some reason, just feels and acts very differently from all other cream bronzers. Sometimes I will say that bronzers that come in a compact like this feel just a little bit hard on your brush and a little bit hard on the skin. Sometimes they can come off a little bit too patchy. Sometimes the color just isn't right. But this one, which by the way comes in 5 shades, I have it here in shade Original, which I guess matches the original Hoola bronzer, the powder version. This one is so easy to wear. It is so easy to apply. It's kind of foolproof. I'm actually wondering what makes it so different. So they're considering this a bronzing balm, and to me, it feels almost like a gel that melts into your skin. There's also a brush that comes with it, sold separately of course, but this is the brush, and this is like the best combo. If you need to just be out the door really quickly and you need to just chisel out your face, make it look like you're a little bit more sun-kissed, a little bit more awake, this is so good. Literally, I've only had it in my possession for about a week, but I've used it like 4 days out of the 7 of the week. So you can tell I love it. Do I have a price on that? That is 36 bucks. That is like the magic number at Sephora. Everything that is not 60 or above is like 36 for some reason. Have you guys noticed that? I wonder why that is. In the setting spray category, you guys are always asking me for my favorite setting spray. And I gotta be honest, there's really only one setting spray that I use, and I use it in a very specific way. It is the One Size Until Dawn setting spray. This is the mini version for $17, but they have a giant one for $34. This one I use whenever I apply makeup to my neck or to my chest, and I need to make sure that my makeup doesn't touch my clothes and doesn't ruin my clothes. So this is what I use to set my makeup on my neck or on my chest whenever I do wear it there. On occasion, I'll wear it on my face, but I just don't have that real life need for my makeup to wear for that long and to last for more than 8 hours. So I don't really have a need for such a strong setting spray. Plus, I firmly believe that most setting sprays are unfortunately just a little bit gimmicky. Not this one, however. This one is the real deal, and it is the one that I would recommend for you today and every day. Brows. You guys, we have reached the brow category, and you already know when it comes to brow gels, I'm very picky. I really do like the Rare Beauty brow gel. That one is a gel wax hybrid, but it works very well even on my pretty unruly, pretty untamable brows. I like that one. But typically I reach for the Benefit 24-hour brow setter because it's just a gel. It's very reliable. I know how to use it very well. So you've probably already heard me talk about this countless times. So those are still my recommendations. It's hard for me to top those, but I do have a new favorite brow pen that I want to mention to you guys, and it is also from Benefit. It is this magic wand type of pen. It is called the Mighty Fine Brow Pen, and it's got this 3-prong type of tip, which allows you to draw in those hair strokes very quickly and very easily. Now, you might remember that Benefit already had a product very similar to this. However, it was a felt tip marker that was just a little bit thicker than your natural brow hairs would be, unless you're me and you have really thick brow hairs, but not everybody does. And so now Benefit has created this ultra fine tipped 3-prong marker for the brow hairs. And this literally imitates brow hairs. When you paint this, it is just so fine. It really does look like little hairs, you know? So the shade that I use is shade 5, Warm Black Brown. It works for me. I'm using it today, just like in the tail ends and right here in the center where I have just like a little bit of gaps. So I really like this one. I reach for it all the time. Big fan. Price on that is $28. All right, so now let's move on to some color categories. Even though I've already talked about blush, that's technically color. But when I say color, I really mean eyeshadow palettes. I have one eyeshadow palette recommendation for you guys today, and it is the Bloom palette from NATASHA DENONA. I really like the color story here because it is very pinky brown. To me, it feels a little bit different than just your typical warms or your typical pinks. This is not by any means mauve or dusty rose, which I don't tend to lean towards. I really like this color story because it is very specific and it is very flattering on skin tones. So whether you have a lighter skin tone or a deeper skin tone or something in the middle, this will probably look great on just about anyone. Also, we have tons of mattes. We have an equal amount of shimmery shades. We have those beautiful shifty frosty shades, the chromes. It gives you everything that the NATASHA DENONA eyeshadows are known for and more. So with this $69 product, you can definitely save a pretty penny on the Sephora VIB sale. That's almost 15 bucks you're saving as a Rouge member. That's something. I'm saying it's pretty good. I'm just gonna mention this next product, but I definitely think this is way overpriced for what it is. $30 for a single eyeshadow, but it is incredibly beautiful and gorgeous as a single shadow. Some people just don't have the capacity, they just don't have the space for a large eyeshadow palette, and if you're willing to spend money on a single shadow that will make a difference in your look, I would highly recommend the Too Faced Disco Crush eyeshadows. These are basically beautiful glittery foils that you can layer, that you can sheerly wash across your lid, or you can stack them up to pack a punch for night or for a date or for whatever. But the reason why I like these is because they are quite unique and they do definitely look great on camera, they look good in person, and they have really pretty shades. So I'm just gonna mention that. $30, like I said, for just this tiny little thing, so do with that what you please. Save some money or not, but I like it, so I'm gonna mention it. Things like eyeliners and mascaras, I feel like you can definitely get that from the drugstore. And in fact, I should probably say that in the making of this video, as I was gathering up all of my products, I kept on reaching for products that aren't necessarily at Sephora, some higher end products, even some drugstore products that I'm like, dang, why aren't these products at Sephora? So let me know if you want me to make a separate video on that. But going back to what I was saying, when you are looking for items such as mascaras or eyeliners or even lip liners, I always say this in all of these types of videos, you can absolutely shop for some of the best formulas at the drugstore for a fraction of the cost. Having said that, some people do want recommendations for long-lasting liquid eyeliners and also waterproof liners for the waterline, for tight lining. So for that, I'm gonna have to probably give it to STILA. So STILA is what I'm wearing on my lids right now. I am using the liquid liner on the top, the Stay All Day waterproof liquid liner. This one is in fact waterproof. It will not go anywhere. It will stay all day, black, sharp, just like how you see it. So I do like this one. But my absolute favorite tight lining or waterline pencil liner is also from STILA. It is their Stay All Day Smudge and Set Waterproof Gel Eyeliner. So this one in Stingray Black has been my fave for so many years. And although you can absolutely find a dupe from L'Oreal to Maybelline to Rimmel to whatever at the drugstore. This STILA one, I will say, is even better than those because it absolutely does not make your eye run. It doesn't make your eye watery. It doesn't make it itchy or red. It's just so foolproof, and it's been foolproof for years. It's been my go-to for a long time. I recommend it. And now in the mascara category, I did recently discover a mascara that I love from Sephora, and it is from Makeup by Mario. It is the Master Mascara I'm wearing today in this video. I really like it for its super simplistic wand. I really like that it separates and defines your lashes. It makes them soft and feathery, but longer and more voluminous. Basically does everything that a mascara is supposed to do. They don't smudge. It's not necessarily waterproof, but it is long lasting, so I really like it. 28 bucks. I also really like the CALIRAY tubing mascara for $24. This one I don't seem to have around, but I do like that one. Oh my gosh, I just realized I completely bypassed the highlighter category. I just realized I completely bypassed the highlighter category. And in the highlighter category, I have just a couple of products that I want to mention. Number one is from HAUS Labs, the new highlighter Balm. I particularly really like the shade Pure Glass that basically looks like a little lip balm or like a little Vaseline in a tube. And of course you can get the same kind of effect with something like a lip balm or a Vaseline or with like any kind of clear gloss. But what I like about this one is that it is so specific. It's got this precise little point, little round point, and you can literally add this wherever you want. That little bit of an extra shine, an extra glow. You don't necessarily have to worry about your hair getting into it because it's not actually that tacky. So the formula is slightly different, but I do like this one because it's just convenient. The packaging is cute and it has some cute shades. I also like shades Glassy Topaz and Glassy Citrine. If you want that same vibe but with a little bit of color. I'm not gonna actually show you now because I'm gonna ruin my look. You get the vibe. These kind of remind me of the Westman Atelier highlighter glowy bombs, but a little bit finer of a tip, so you can kind of apply them a little bit more precisely. I prefer that. And also, for those of you who really love a blinding but beautiful highlighter, you guys, I am obsessed with the Fenty Demi Glow highlighter. This one is so stunning. I'm wearing it right here under my eyeliner wing. It gives you kind of a lit from within, but definitely a 2016 vibe type of glow. If you are nostalgic, if 2016 makeup is your favorite type of makeup, but you want to adapt it to today, you want it to kind of glow on your skin rather than lay on your skin, this is the highlighter for you. Right now, for some reason, it is on sale for $20. So I'm not sure if the VIB sale will actually apply to it or if that original sale will be revoked by then. My favorite shade is shade number 2, Prosecco. It is so pretty, so flattering. I wear it all the time. I actually keep it on my desk, like on top of my desk, not in a drawer, but right on top so I can remember to reach for it more often. That's how much I love it. All right, so now that I've talked about highlighters, I made sure not to skip that category because it's a very important one. I want to quickly go over some lip liners. And actually, I just have one lip liner that I want to recommend from Sephora. It is from Makeup Forever, of course. And actually, I'm gonna also recommend their artist pencils, but this one is the waterproof version of the artist pencils. It is actually called the Artist Color Pencil Extreme. So this is the waterproof version. The shade that I always reach for is, of course, Forever Walnut. This is the viral shade that everybody seems to reach for in every single possible lip combo. It is really good. It is really trusty. Great for my skin tone, for medium tone lips if you want to kind of look like yourself but a little bit better. The perfect lip liner for a nude lip or for a pinky lip or for blushing type of lip vibe. Really, really love this. And it's waterproof, so it lasts forever. I mean forever. Really like that one. And you can tell that I've been using it because not much left. All right, in the lipstick category, if I were to give you guys a splurge, just like one splurge, I would probably have to give it to the Valentino Spike lipstick. It is $48. The packaging is just so chic, so Valentino. Gold but matte. The shades are really, really pretty and very flattering. They have some gorgeous nudes, also some really, really stunning brights. They have some deep reds and also very unique shades to choose from. So there's definitely a color for everyone. So if you're just looking for a special kind of color, perhaps a red or maybe a fuchsia to gift to someone like your best friend or your mom or your sister, or even yourself, this is the splurge. It is $48, so definitely pricey for a lipstick, but just so pretty. All right, speaking of Makeup Forever, I recently fell in love with their new lip glosses. They are also from the Super Boost line, and the colors are just so flattering. There's all these stunning nudes, these beautiful browns, kind of like your lips but better coral reds, all the right shades. As much as I love the idea of a lip oil, I am a lip gloss type of girl. So the fact that they just told me that this is a lip gloss and not an oil is another thing that sold me. I don't know about you guys, but the oils to me seem to work against my lip liners. They make them not as long lasting, so I don't prefer oils for that reason. I quite prefer a gloss as long as it's not goopy, as long as it's not heavy and sticky and gross. So this one is really good, not gross, very nice, and so my recommendation for you guys. But speaking of oils, I do have a new favorite from Fenty. I think they're calling them oils because oils are trending, but in fact these are glosses, okay? Talking about the Fenty Beauty Oil glosses. These are the new shades. There's 6 shades, and what I like about these is the unique colors. So right now on my lips, I am wearing shade Fussy. It is really pretty and just like very dainty. I'm wearing it with my Wherever Walnut. So this is the lip combo. I really like it. It is shimmery, it is shiny, it's got a little bit of glitter and gloss. So I like it a lot. In fact, I'm gonna apply just a little bit more so you can see how nice it is. Shade Fussy is probably the most wearable of all the shades, but this one right here, Miss Jellyfish, she's unique, she's different, and she's for the summer. And she looks so good with a deep, dark brown lip liner. Oof, you need to try it. All right, so now that we are at the end of the video, I'm wondering if there is anything at all that I missed. I most certainly hope not. If there is a lip balm that I could recommend to you guys from Sephora, it would definitely be the Pillow Balm from Too Faced. I don't actually have it currently in front of me because I have it at my bedside. I use it every single night and I've been using it every night ever since it came out. It is my absolute favorite lip balm. I use the original one and I am just obsessed. So with that, you guys, I am going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. I hope these recommendations are helpful. Please let me know what are some of your favorite products from Sephora that you would recommend to everyone out there, perhaps something that I might have not mentioned. Let me know something that is an all-time fave and also something that is a current fave. All right, you guys, I am going to zoom on out. I'm gonna go drink some water because it is very late at night and I am parched. I am gonna say farewell. Peace out. I'm out. I love you. More videos over here, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one. Bye. Deuces.